Hello, this is Red Shadows. As in the last episode, you can call me Red, and we're back at Subnautica, right where we stopped last time. If you didn't watch my first episode, I'll leave a link at the end of the video, and now without further ado, I'll keep exploring. Last time, while scanning stuff around, I gathered a bunch of materials, so I searched my databank for new gadgets and devices to fabricate. One thing that seemed to be useful was a flashlight, and the PDS said that I need two pieces of glass and a battery. I started gathering the mats for a battery when the scanner icon appeared on my screen, which indicated that there's something to scan. It was another plant that somehow I missed on the scanning part. The writhing weed is just a normal weed. Nothing really special about it. It's got normal behavior for a plant. It likes sunlight, and I can tell that at night it's bioluminescent. I moved on looking for more materials when suddenly I found another interesting being. It looks like a bug, like a very interesting insect. The PDA decided to call it shuttlebug. I don't know who comes up with those names. It's a seafloor scavenger. It eats what it can while swimming. It orients itself with the help of its mandibles. Sometimes it eats what it finds at the seafloor as well. It has three muscular legs that he uses to propel itself with, and it doesn't look very dangerous, so I won't have to watch my back around those, I guess. So, as a conclusion, shuttlebugs are just gentle and harmless carrions. Yeah, pretty much. I needed more copper for batteries, so I decided to go downhill right at the cave. I had to, of course, dodge a few fishes that blow up and watch out for my oxygen meter, which is something that I often forget, sadly. Oopsie. I returned to the same cave and scanned the home of that kamikaze fish that blew up last time. Sadly, there was not enough time for me to read the pedia, so I decided that it would be best if I was gonna read it later, given the fact that I have around, I don't know, 20 seconds to be there. I lit up one of those flares that I had in order to see how bright they are. While having at those resources, I also grabbed a bowl of fish, and then I got so excited at some point that I forgot about my bodily needs. Now, I don't know what people do in that case, but yeah, I did an oopsie. I think that was my first death ever. Oopsie indeed. I woke up in my safe pod only to find out that some of my belongings disappeared. I don't know which disappeared exactly, but apparently that's the consequence. Nah, 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 nah. I mean, wait. Being the result of thousands of years of human evolution, I wasn't gonna let such a shameful death slide like that. I simply had to return. Yeah, I scanned the wreckage, grabbed some more quads, and then I scanned even the things that contain the things that I scan. Nothing escapes my scanner. Nothing. And about scanning. Look what I found here. Another type of fish. It seems to have some kind of hole in its body, and I presume it has to deal with locomotion as well. I'll check the pedia later. I also realized that I couldn't go on like this forever. I survived so many death and asphyxiation attempts that I had to do something about it, so I returned to the base. And with all the titanium that I had, I managed to fabricate a higher capacity oxygen tank. I was sure that I wasn't going to repeat the asphyxiation experience after that, and there I was on another nighttime stroll. Uh, Wait, is that flare still burning? What are you made of? Jeez. I'm grabbing those things in my databank like a Pokemon collector. And right when I thought that I scanned every being of interest around here, I find another type of coral. Here's my imaginary friend updating me on my fitness. It's even better than your gym app from your Apple Watch. Was just minding my own business when I hear my imaginary friend counting down like it's New Year's Eve. Honestly, that's one of the best New Year's Eves that I've been a part of up until now. It's just that it's the Chernobyl type of New Year's Eve because I received the radiation suit blueprint in my databank. That can only mean that there's radiation around Aurora now. Oh well, it was a pleasant sight. And maybe it took a day, but I finally made my flashlight. And now with the torch in my hand, I was ready to grab the darkness by the balls and see what I can find. It's good to know that you can find the stuff that you had before after you died. How? Just how? It's been a whole day, and that flare is still burning. What are you made of? I mean, for real now. Okay, so the search for materials continues, and I'm trying to get more glass, I'm trying to get more quartz, I'm trying to get more fish, more water. Ooh, what are you? Better get out before I suffocate again. So after so much work, I decided to have my much deserved fika, drink something, eat something, anything that's in the benefit of the peace of a mind. I also had to fabricate a bigger oxygen tank because hell no where I was going next. And I clicked the radio button to see if there's any friendly neighbor around here, but it seems like there's only distress calls. And I got a message from lifepod 3, and they didn't seem to have a good time. And that's when it hit me that it's a very good time to read the newspaper. Radiation suit. The name says it all. It protects you against radiation. Aurora's core is leaking radiation everywhere now. Well, that's since the explosion. I have no idea how much is the affected radius of all of this radiation, but I guess I'll find out, especially as I wander around affected by my wanderlust. Brain coral. It's a colony of microscopic organisms that grows forever. This colony evolved in such way that it would filter carbon dioxide from its surroundings in order to grow, while using those big holes to eliminate the resulting oxygen. Now, PDS says that we can take that oxygen and put it in our oxygen tank. So while I was doing some inventory check, I was the witness of an eclipse. Man, silver is so much more valuable than gold on this planet. I mean, oh, what's this? Yup, need one more piece and I'll find out. In order to create the fiber mesh, I needed two pieces of this plant, but it seems that the wildlife around this forest had another plan for me. Got attacked. So you like biting people, huh? How it is to get your ass scanned, huh? How do you like it now? I may have acted tough there, but to be honest, that crazy tuna really made me jump out of my chair. I have a feeling that these kelp forests are their natural habitats, or, biomes. I don't exactly know what to do about them, besides trying to stay away from them and giving them a good shank from time to time. Perhaps I can make a device that would keep them away from me or something, but only time would tell. I also scanned those yellow aquatic berries we make loop from. Yeah, you know what they say. Somebody's trash is somebody else's treasure. I found this weird looking globe that looks like Mysterious head, and I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do with it, but good thing I found a fragment. This is the Sea Glide. I was really waiting for it, honestly. And I also found a beacon. Can't light no cigarette underwater. No cigarette break for me. Boy oh boy, this new finding is really gonna get me started on cooking. I'm sure of it. Okay, so this globe is basically a grav trap. I presume it traps with gravity or something. And this is the second part for the beacon. My backpack was getting full at some point and I was getting very hungry. I got back into my life pod and started creating some dinner, actually pre-dinner snack. The fins were done now as well and I was able to create the fiber mesh. However, as always, I was out of silver so I went out to get some more. It just makes me think. I have all these precious metals in this world, sort of. Can you imagine what Riley could do with all of these shinies once he gets home? I would just retire with a house in a forest. While in this big ass tunnel, I found other smaller tunnels with some outcrops in them. None of them had silver, but I found an egg. I'm also getting close to create my own very port. Look at that. Went into those creepy kelp forests again to get some more silver, and I managed to hit two rabbits with one hit by finding the third part of the bay. It was getting darker, and those tuna fishes were really getting chunks out of my ass, so I tried to get out of the forest as fast as possible. But not before I found my precious silver. The search really lasted for a while. I was beginning to call it for the night since it was getting creepy, but in the end I managed to find this beauty. While trudging through those forests on my way home, I also found another unknown little guy. All this frutti di mare made me hungry in real life. How do you even have the guts to eat aliens, man? Once I got back into my life pod, took another fika because life is beautiful and we must enjoy the little things. I also created a wiring kit and then hit my objective of having the rebreather made. I should be able to last longer now. Now, what are people doing when drinking their Java? I'm telling you, reading the news. Stalker, one of the oldest amphibian species of the planet. The stalker is quite a fast and a big predator, so fast it can hunt the fastest of preys. They have a habit of picking up wreckages as they like sharpening their teeth with them. They are easy to distract with food, and due to retinal layering over the eye, they see very good at night, mostly hunting then. When it comes to teeth, they are very strong, and they can even be used as a reagent when it comes to building materials. Their mouths are very long, as they use it to reach small herbivores when they hide in small spaces, like caves. Hovefish, solitary and small herbivore. It likes to dwell around the entrances of caves where the light changes awfully. I'm sure you have at least one friend with flashed ears. This fish is kinda the same. They can enlarge and tighten the hole in their tail for unpredictable locomotion though. It seems they are tiny because they don't eat that much due to lack of vegetation. Now this one is quite an interesting one. Hoverfish, a very careful and meticulous kind of amphibian. It likes to live around the kelp forests. It has 6 limbs that can be used to ionize the water around in order to achieve a good equilibrium, holding itself steady while feeding on the kelp plants and licking. It's another marvelous being that is capable of changing very small parts of the surrounding environment for controlled movement. That sounds rather magical. At some point I saw some rock floating underneath the surface of the water, and it seemed to be sustained by those pink jelly beings. The floater is basically a symbiote composed of two beings. The pink life form is some kind of leech that attaches to other organisms, draining nutrients from it in order to grow. And the blue gel being is a mixture of microorganisms that act like a sticky protecting layer. It contains a thin layer of helium that provides buoyancy to the symbiote. Vein nettle, bioluminescent nettle that gives herbivore fish a hard time eating it. Basically a glowing nettle. After reading the PD, I hit the radio button to see what's up, and the Sunbeam trading ship sent a message. They said that it may take more than a week to reach me, but nonetheless I appreciate the gesture. A very good idea is to get as much precious metals as possible before I get home. With all the materials amassed, I created my sea glider. Now, finally, with this will make a huge difference. Can you play music on this goddamn thing? Where's the radio button? Anyway, I was out there in the dark again to get copper for a beacon. With this little toy, I can signal the location for various points of interest, and I can even name them. Uh, you'll see. Backfill's kinda heavy. I should throw this rotten stuff. I hate littering, but shuttle should eat it, right? Right? On my way to lifepod 3, there was this interesting and lovely colored little fishy. I didn't know its whereabouts, but I decided to read Wikipedia. Hopefish. It doesn't swim. It uses its antennae to modify the density of the water in front of it, and I think that's a very fascinating way to move because it can decide how compact the atoms of the water in front of it are. It's colored purple-green, and it is more active at dawn and dusk. It likes to hang around others of its kind to socialize more rather than as a safety mechanism. Oh, and one more teeny tiny little detail, but very important as well. It likes to eat alone. Got to lifepod 3. Honestly, I thought that I would find it in an even worse condition. These guys don't look to be home, though. I found a PDA of their crew log. It's nice that somehow they are always recorded. Speaks of a man and a woman that both attempt to use a sea glide at the same time in order to escape the lifepod 3. They sense that something dangerous is out there, but remaining in a lifepod without many resources at their disposal isn't an answer to the problem either, so they decide to leave anyway. The large hole in the lifepod shows that something forcefully opened their lifepod like a tuna can before they could even leave. Woof. While thinking about what happened to them, I realized how lucky I was to just conveniently drop in the shallows where there aren't so many dangerous creatures. Yeah. I get back home and I feel lonely again. Playing the radio, I receive a distress call from Ozzy stuck in lifepod 17, who says that the big ugly snake is trying to eat through his lifepod hull. Now this lifepod seems to be 100 meters down in the water, so I have to make sure that I get prepped really well. I ate and drank some more, and I was back on my way to create my new addition, the compass. Gotta be able to orient yourself around here. Got the copper for the wiring kit. While humming still, I was approached by the weirdest fish I've seen up until now. I couldn't really distinguish reality from illusion anymore, but I swear my imaginary friend went totally bonkers because he was telling me to go closer to it. I got the silver, but do you know what's weird about that fish? Even the PDA was telling me to go closer to it. Is that fish hacking my AI? You know, I promised myself that I wouldn't go on adventures while it's dark outside. There's that saying that you only live once, so I thought of doing it. Luckily for me, the "you also only die once," as Corey Taylor from Slipknot used to say in his "You're Making Me Hate You" book, does not apply to me in this case. But I have a huge hunch, I'm sure as how he would be afraid to dip his ass into these waters. I love Slipknot, by the way. I got the LivePod 17, and before I went inside, I started scanning things that I haven't seen before. It seems that this sea moth thing must be some type of vehicle. Yep, I went inside, grabbed the PDA, and played it, see what happened to this guy. Ozzy is confused on the day of the crash. He provides us with the info of how scared he is to go outside, as he sees all sorts of shadows in weird-looking caves. He doesn't understand how the Aurora could have gone through such a disaster. He cannot understand how they could have everything and then find themselves in that situation. The last sentence of his crew log ends with, "I don't know why no one is looking for me." The imaginary friend is telling me at some point that there are caves indeed nearby. As you can see, I managed to find a lot of other plants that I would take great delight in reading their PDA analysis a little bit later. I also found a very weird looking fish. I don't think that's his normal color, and I think it's something wrong with it. Oh yeah, and these are the floating rocks that I told you about. Anyway, daylight was upon me, and while I had no way of measuring how many hours my character was awake, I presumed that he was very tired and he had to go home and take a very long nap. This is the end of the episode, so if you've been here up until now, I thank you so much, and I would appreciate some feedback in the comments. Maybe tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. If you want to find out what happened last time, do check out my first episode. Whoever you are and wherever you are in the world, I hope you stay safe, and I'll see you again here. Take care.